Welcome to Excel Chapter 1, Excel 2010. Okay, in this chapter we're gonna see how to create a workbook, modify a workbook, modify a worksheet, and customize the Excel 2010 program window. Okay, so I already have some documents that you guys are also gonna receive with this DVD. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go to Documents. Once I go to Documents, I'm gonna see the Excel 2010 files folder. So I'm gonna go ahead and double click on it, and then I'm gonna have the chapter 1. Under chapter 1, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the exception summary. Start. So we just double click on it, and it will open up the workbook on Excel. Now, every time that we open these books, okay, we're gonna go ahead and go to File, use the Save As, okay, to make a copy. So if you guys want to do the exercise again, you guys will do it again, okay, without losing the original. Now, from here, I'm gonna change the location. I'm gonna go back to my documents, and from here, I have the Excel 2010 projects folder. So I'm gonna double click on it. Then I'm gonna click on the file name. File name. I'm gonna go ahead and delete, start, and I'm also gonna delete copy of. So I'm only gonna leave exception summary and the date. The save type, we're not gonna change anything, it's just the file name, and go ahead and click on save. Now as you can see, now we have the exception summary name for this workbook and the date. Okay, now that we have opened this document, okay, we're just gonna go back to file, and we're gonna click on close. So the workbook is closed. Now we're gonna go back to file. From file, we're gonna go to new. By clicking on new, we're gonna have those templates, and we're gonna be using the one that says blank workbook. Okay, so we click on it, and we click on create. Now we have a blank workbook. Okay, from here we're gonna go to file, save as, and then we're gonna go ahead and save it. So we're just gonna go ahead and change the name, exceptions 2010. Okay, exceptions 10/21/2010, and click on save. Okay, from here we're gonna go to the file, and then we're gonna go to info. From the info we're gonna go to properties. Okay, once we are on the properties, we're just gonna click on it, and then we're gonna click on show document panel. Once we click on the show document panel, this is gonna be displaying this document panel. Okay, and this document panel saves information, okay, for this workbook. Now we're gonna go ahead and modify this. Okay, in the keywords, we're gonna go ahead and click on the keywords. On the keywords, we're gonna type in exemptions, regional, percentage. in the category, we're gonna type in performance. Okay, so the document properties is gonna be displaying information. She's gonna be displaying information for this workbook. Okay, so as you can see, it says author. Okay, so the program, okay, the software is already registered to Alfredo 7. Okay, for example, right here we're gonna add some information. Okay, the title, we can also add the title, so it's gonna be exemptions. Okay, and on the comments we're gonna add something else. Okay, right here is just gonna say um, okay, so that's all the information we gonna go ahead and add into it. Okay, okay, and from here we're gonna go ahead and click on the drop down arrow on the document properties, and then we're gonna click on advanced properties. Okay, once we click on the advanced properties, okay, it's gonna open up this new screen, and then we're gonna go ahead and click on custom. Okay, so as you can see on the general tab, it's already giving us information about this document. It's also giving us information about when it was created, when it was modified, and when it was last accessed. Okay, we click on the summary, we're gonna see, okay, the information that we just input into the properties. So we have exemptions, Alfredo 7, performance, exceptions, regional percentage, and the comments I just add. Okay, we have the statistics with the contents, and then we have the custom. Okay, on the custom tab, we're gonna go ahead and click in the name, where it says name, and then we're gonna type in performance. And then down here where it says value, we're gonna type in again exemptions. Okay, and then down here, we're just gonna go ahead and click on add. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and click OK. And from here, we could go to the letter X to close the information panel. Just close it. Okay, from here we're gonna go to the quick toolbar, and we're just gonna click on save. After we save it, we're gonna go ahead and click on file, and then we're gonna go to close. From here I'm gonna go ahead and minimize my window. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and close this window, and then we're gonna go to the documents window. Okay, on the documents we're gonna go to the projects. Okay, and here's the document that we just created. Okay, once I place my cursor there, we're gonna have the little screen tip, and this screen tip is gonna give us information that we just input into the document properties. Okay, so all this information could be changed by us. Okay, if we right click on it and then we click on properties, okay, we also gonna see the information about this document. Okay, and as well on the bottom of our screen. Okay, aquí tenemos el documento, the document, sorry. Okay, the title, the author. Okay, it's giving us the size, the date when it was modified, the tags that we input, and all the information. Okay, so from here I'm just gonna go ahead and close this window, and then we're gonna go to the next exercise. Okay, now on the next exercise I'm gonna go ahead and open up my program, and now we're gonna go to File, Open, My Documents, and then Excel 2010 Chapter 1. From here I'm gonna open Exemption Tracking. Double click and there it is. And again we're gonna use Save As. We're gonna change the folder where it's gonna be saving to the project, and we're gonna go ahead and change the file name and add today's date and click on Save. Okay, from here we're gonna go to the Insert tab. We're gonna click on it, and from here we're gonna go ahead and go to Insert Worksheet. Okay, so we're gonna go back to Home, and then we're gonna go back down here where we have the tab bar. And on this one we have Sheet 1 and we have the scratch pad. Okay, now if we want to add a different tab, I mean a different sheet, we have an option right here. It's this little icon. When we place the cursor, it's going to say Insert Worksheet. Okay, so we click on it and we have a new worksheet display. Okay, now on this sheet we're going to right click and then we're going to go to rename. Okay, so the sheet number 2 is highlighted, and then we're going to type in 2010 and press enter to confirm that information. And we're going to go to sheet number 1, we're going to double click on it, and right here we're going to type in 2009. Hit enter to confirm it. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and right click on the 2009 tab. We're going to go to the tab color, and from here we're going to go ahead and use a green color. Okay, so we're adding color into this tab. When I go to the scratch pad, we have the green color and the 2009. Okay, now from here I'm gonna go ahead and drag the 2010 tab and place it to the right side of 2009. Okay, the way I'm gonna do this is by holding down my left click, and when we have this little arrow, I'm just gonna go ahead and drag it over here. The arrow is gonna indicate me where it's gonna be dropped. Okay, so now we have 2009, 2010, and then the scratch pad. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and right click on the 2010 tab, and in this case, okay, we're gonna go ahead and click on hide. Okay, Excel gives us this option. There's sometimes that we're gonna be too, like, if we have sensitive data, okay, and if we want to hide it, okay, that's one option to hide it, just by right clicking on the tab and click on hide. From here I'm gonna go back to the 2009, and then I'm gonna right click on it, and then we're gonna click on move or copy. So here's the option, move or copy. We just click once and we have this little bar, this this new little screen asking us for more information. Okay, to move or copy. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and clear right here where it says to book. Okay, we're gonna click on the drop down arrow and then click on new. Okay, and then down here we're gonna go ahead and click on create a copy. Then we're gonna go ahead and click OK. Okay, now if I go down here, okay, on my icon for Excel, now we have two different books. Okay, I have the one that we were working already, that we have the 2009, we have the 2010 tab, and we have the scratch pad. Okay, now I'm gonna click on the icon for Excel and I'm gonna go to book number 2. On the book number 2 we have the sheet for 2009 and all the information is being copied. Okay, from here we're just gonna go to the quick toolbar and click on save. Okay, so now we have two different books open. Okay, so now we have two different books. Okay, the exemption and the copy that we just made for the sheet 2009. Okay, when we have two different books, we can always go back down here, okay, on the text bar, and by placing our cursor on the Excel window, it's gonna display both books, and from here we could choose which one we want to look at. Okay, so right now we're gonna go to the book number 2. Okay, we're gonna click on save. It's gonna open up, okay, the save as dialog box, and from here we're gonna go to the projects, and on this one we're gonna change the name. I'm gonna rename this one 2009 archive. And then we click on save. Okay, now that is one way to display one or the other screen. Okay, but we could always also go to the view tab. On the view tab, okay, we have dentro and inside the window workbook group we have the switch window. Okay, so when I click on it we have a little check mark which says 2009 archive. If we click on the second one, it's gonna be displaying the other book. Okay, so we go to switch windows, we change to the other one. From here we're gonna go back to the exception tracking. Now we have this other tab for the scratch pad. The scratch pad we don't longer need it, so we're gonna right click and then we're gonna click on delete. Okay, we have this warning stating that there's a data existed on this document. If we want to delete it, that this data will be deleted. So we go ahead and click on delete. Okay, so now we only have the 2009. Okay, now we're gonna right click and remember that we hide the 2010 sheet or tab, so we're gonna right click and then go back to unhide. When we click on unhide, it's gonna open up this little window, okay, asking us what do you want to unhide. From here it's gonna be the 2010, which is the only sheet that we have. Hide it and then click on OK, and again the tab is being displayed. Okay, now there's gonna be times that we want to compare information with one workbook to another one. Okay, so In this case, we're gonna go to arrange. Okay, inside the window group, we're gonna go to arrange, and from here we could choose how do you want to look at your worksheet. So in this case, we click on arrange and use the vertical and click OK. And now we have both our worksheets display. Okay, from here we could go ahead and select on data and then drag it into the exemption book. Okay, go back and forth. Right here we're gonna go ahead and add a second sheet. Okay, and this one we're gonna double click and then rename this one 2011. Okay, so we're gonna go back to 2009. Highlight that information. Okay, before those numbers I remove those numbers. Okay, and now again I'm gonna left click and drag them. So I just left click, drag and drag the data. Okay, and then I double click on the letter line between the B and C just to expand the window. Okay, now in this case I'm not gonna move the data. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna right click, click on copy, come over here to B, right click, and then click on paste. And then this information I'm also gonna highlight it. Okay, so right now we are highlighting a range. A range is a group of cells that are being highlighted together. Okay, and the reason of being highlighted is because I'm gonna right click on it and click on copy. I'm gonna go to the second workbook, right click, and then click on paste. Okay, now remember we had the 2009 and sorry, the 2010, the 2009, and on this side we have 2009 and 2011. Okay, and in this case we're gonna highlight, okay, all the data. Okay, we're gonna go to the home tab, and right here we have the option to copy also. Then we go to the big one, and then I'm gonna go ahead and click on paste. There we go. Okay, from here I'm gonna go back to, okay, to get rid of this little dancing lines, little webbing lines. We're just gonna go ahead and click on escape, the escape key on our keyboard. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to file, close, then go ahead and click on save, click on the second one, close, and go ahead and click on save. Okay, now we're gonna go to the next exercise. Okay, so this is my new workbook. Okay, and I also open this document from the chapter 1 and I already save it as root volume and the date. Okay, on this workbook we have two sheets. We have the May 12 and the May 13, and we already have information. Okay, so we have May 12 and this is a May 13. Okay, so on the May 12 we're gonna go ahead and click it to make it active, and then we're gonna go to A1. Now from here we're gonna go to the home tabs. From the home tabs we're gonna go to the cells group, and in the cell groups we're gonna go ahead and click on insert. Once we click on insert we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 options, and from here we're gonna select insert sheet columns. When I click on it, now we have a new column, and all the information is being pushed into the right side. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to insert, and in this case I'm gonna go ahead and select insert sheet rows. When I click on it, we also have a new row, and all the information is being pushed down. Okay, now in this case I'm gonna go ahead and click on this little brush. Okay, this little brush appears when whenever we insert something new. So that is the insert options tool. Okay, and from here we're just gonna go ahead and click on it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and select clear formatting. Okay, because this information that it was up here, it was already formatted. Okay, see this data here was bold, so if I haven't do that, whatever I type here is gonna be bold. Okay, and that was the reason why we had to click on clear formatting. Okay, from here we're gonna go to column E, and on the E we're gonna right click on it, just on the E, and we're gonna go to hide. Okay, once we click on that, the column E is gonna be hide. It disappears, but it's still there, it's just being hidden. Okay, now on the tab bar we're gonna go ahead and click on May 13, and the May 13 sheet appears. Now we're gonna go to B6 and click on B6. Okay, now on the home tab, cells group, we're gonna go to home tab, cell groups. Okay, from the cell groups we're gonna go ahead and click on delete on the delete one, the delete arrow, and then we're gonna go ahead and click on delete cells. Okay, now remember that we have highlighted B6, so we're gonna go ahead and click on delete cells. Once we click on the delete cells, this new screen, okay, dialog box is gonna open up, asking us what do you want to do. Okay, so in this case we already have highlighted or selected shift cells up. So once we click on OK, okay, this cell is gonna be removed, and the information below is gonna be shift up. So we click OK, and as you can see, the 4 is gone, but the information is being pushed up. Okay, now we're gonna go to C6. We're gonna click on C6. Okay, and from here we're gonna go to insert cells. Okay, in the cells group we're gonna go to insert, and then we're gonna go ahead and click on insert cells. Again, we have the dialog box, and now in this case we're gonna make sure that we have selected shift cells down, because we're gonna input a new cell, a new blank cells, and the rest of the numbers are gonna be shift down. There you go, we click on it, all the information is being pushed down, and we have a new blank cell. And right here we're only gonna go ahead and type in 4499 and hit enter. Now from here we're gonna go ahead and select a range. Okay, the range is gonna be E13, so we're gonna begin on E13. So we left click, hold down the button, and drag it to the F13. So we have a range of 2 cells highlighted. Okay, now I'm gonna move my cursor, okay, using the mouse, to the edge of those 2 cells, those 2 active cells. Okay, and once I have the forward arrow, I'm gonna left click, hold it down, and drag it to the left, because I'm gonna move those E13, F13 into the new cells B13 and C13. Once I'm there, I'll go ahead and release the left button. Okay, and that information is being moved. Okay, so we have 1 and 2. Okay, and from here we're just gonna go straight into click on save. After we click on save, we're gonna go ahead and go to close. and we close the workbook. Okay. Okay, on the next exercise we're gonna open two different workbooks. So we go back to the 2010 files and open up chapter 1. From here we're gonna be using the package count. Start, we double click on it. Okay, and then we're gonna use save as. And we're gonna go ahead and change the folder where it's gonna be saved into the project one. We click on the file name, and right here we're gonna type in package counts, and then go ahead and click on save. And then we're gonna open a second one. We go to file and then click on open. Go back to 2010 files, open one, and then we're gonna be using the Miss Router packages. Double click on it, and again save as. We change the location where it's gonna be saved, and we're only gonna be using Miss Router packages plus the date. Okay, and then we're gonna make sure okay that we have the Miss Router packages displayed. So this is the Miss Router. I just click on it. Okay, and on the right hand side we're gonna be using the zoom. Right now we have it set at 100%, and we're gonna click on the plus sign. So we're gonna click on this one, two, three, 4, 5 times. Okay, so the zoom is just gonna zoom into our document. Now if we look at the zoom percentage, it's gonna say 100%. Okay, now over here we're gonna select the range. The range is gonna be B2 through C11. So basically all the information is gonna be highlighted. Okay, and then we're gonna go to the view tab, and then in the zoom group, okay, we're gonna go ahead and click on zoom to selection. So the selection is gonna be displayed into our whole window, and now the percentage is gonna be 240. Okay, now we're gonna go back to the view zoom group. Okay, and then click on the zoom. Once we click on the zoom, it's gonna open the zoom dialog box. Okay, and right here we're gonna go ahead and select 100 and click OK. Okay, now from here we're gonna go to the switch windows, and then we're gonna click on the package counts. And from here we're gonna go to arrange all, and in this case we're gonna select cascade and click OK. So by using cascade, okay, it's just gonna open one in front of the other one. So if we bring our cursor over here in the blue area, we're gonna be able to click on it and drag it to a new location. Okay, and then we're gonna go back to arrange, and we're gonna use the vertical. So we have sheet 1 and sheet number 2. Okay, and from here we're just gonna go ahead and make sure that Miss Router Packages is selected and click on save, and then we click on any cell on the first book and click on save. Okay, once we do that, okay, we could go ahead and close the both documents. Okay, so this is the end of the chapter 1. On this chapter we create a workbook, we modify by workbook, and we also modify the worksheets. Okay, so we're gonna go to file, and then I'm gonna go straight to exit. Going straight to exit is gonna close my 2 documents, and it's also gonna close Excel. Okay, that will be the end of chapter 1, and I will see you guys on chapter 2. Thank you. You have a good day. Bye bye.